Alright, I decided to make a video of this play just because there's so much going on. I've been watching a lot of this game, and there's some good. We actually, just like any game, there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, and there's some repetitive stuff that there's some mistakes that were made by lots of kids. But and so this particular video is going to involve some kids, some good, some bad, but there every kid made. The reason I chose this video is it's like I think we can all learn from it because it's a mistake that I saw happen a lot during the game. And one of it's just about forechecking, one's angling, and one's defense getting split and being too wide. So there's just a lot going on. So let's just try to learn. Okay, it's going to start with the puck going behind the net. And what are we always talk about a forecheck and pressure. Henry does a very nice job here. He's the first man in, and his job is to create pressure. If he can steal the puck, great, but we're just trying to provide pressure, and then second person, Nolan, is reading that pressure and reacting. So Henry does a good job of forcing this guy to peel back. If I'm being super picky here, okay, so Henry goes, okay, and so Nolan, I'd like you should be watching and anticipating, right? Watching and anticipating, watching and anticipating. And I think, if I were Nolan, I'd probably be a little bit more in the center of the ice where my cursor is here at the time. But regardless, Henry does a good job of forcing him to spin back. Now at this point, Nolan, you need to recognize this, rotate, okay? And watch my cursor. You need to then resume the pressure. Lots of time this team puts their best skaters on defense, and that number 9 who scored a bunch of goals, he's a defenseman, and he would just go coast to coast. So what's the easiest way to stop them is to put a forecheck on them. So because if you let a fast skater get a full head of steam and he's going at our defenseman, that's going to be a recipe for disaster, right? So Nolan here, and Nolan, I sent mom and dad lots of good videos. Nolan did lots of good stuff in this game, but we need to. Henry has cut him back. Nolan, you see him, but now you need to angle him towards the boards. Okay, but we're not really doing that. We're giving him a free look. He can skate however he wants. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing, Nolan, but that should have been a rotate. Now, Jackson has come off the bench, okay, and Jackson's coming at it like a missile, which is good. Okay, I love the effort by Jackson there, but again, this is a really tough skill. Sorry for backing it up. So you recognize him, Jackson, but instead of coming straight across, you have no margin. If you come straight across, you have no margin for error. Okay? You're going straight across. You got one swipe, and if you miss, it's over. And what happened? You missed, right? So pretend Nolan's not even there. Okay? So if Nolan's not even there, instead of coming straight across, this is what we do drills like this too. So you want to where do we not want to let this guy get? We don't want to let him get to the middle. So you kind of need to, give a little ice up and then loop and put him towards the wall. So right here, Jackson, is you kind of, instead of going straight across, straight to the boards, it's a tough skill, but you got to loop and then force him up the wall. You control where he goes. Right now, I'm not going to let this guy go to the center. Watch the cursor. I'm going to loop and force him to the wall. Okay? It doesn't happen, and he gets by him. Here's the other piece of this puzzle. Seth, defenseman. And I saw every defenseman do this, not just Seth, right? But so defenseman, it's hard to see on this, but your framer, you see this face-off dot here, this face-off dot here, this face-off dot here, this face-off dot here. This is your frame of reference. We want our defenseman inside the dots, okay? So if this was a lane, see my cursor here, if we could just paint this whole lane from the dot to the wall, that's where we want to force these guys. We want them to stay in this outside lane. We do not want to let them get into the middle lane. So if you're trying to hold a puck in, if this puck comes up the wall and you're trying to hold that puck in, great. But other than that, we do not want to be hanging out on the wall. So as Seth gets into his back pedal, okay, we need him to be getting towards the center of the ice inside the dots, and Kennedy's offering support. Kennedy needs to get to the middle of the ice. She needs to get inside the dots to take away the middle of the ice. Okay? So what happens, we take bad angles. Bad angles. Now this guy's got a full head of steam. Okay? And Seth he's not inside the dots. Kennedy's not in horrible position here. This is a little unlucky. This kid sets a legal screen, I guess, to bump off Kennedy, and then Seth can't recover in time. And see, that's just the difference of hockey. Is just if you don't even have to be the fastest skater, right? If you're in the right position, a couple steps makes all the difference in the world. And then he's in, and Nathan makes a really nice save for us. Okay, but just so when we're forechecking, forechecking can't be one person. It's a team effort. Okay, Henry's in. Second person in is reading and react. Nolan, Henry's in on the puck. You're reading and reacting. Right here, Nolan. Read and react. Take a better angle. And we could stop this play right now before it even gets going.